Hello everyone. We are going to see a topic Kepler's law of planetary motion. Kepler's conclusion regarding the planets which revolve around the nucleus is based on Copernicus theory. Copernicus theory is related with the study of astronomical bodies, and we are knowing in the solar system the planets move around the star. Here in our solar system the planet moves around the sun, and on the basis of this conclusion, after studying the Copernicus concept, Kepler's given a 3 laws. In that the first law we are going to see the Kepler's first law of planetary motion is known as law of orbit. According to this law of orbit, planet revolve around sun in elliptical orbit. See the concept here. Planet revolve around the sun in elliptical orbit. Right? So to understand the first law of Kepler's, which is also called law of orbit, in which a diagram of ellipse is given here, in which distance OA is called semi-major axis, right? And OB, seen the diagram, is called semi-minor axis of the elliptical. Since we know that there are two focus lies in a ellipse, sun lies at one focus, lies at one focus of that. Let S denotes position of sun at one of the focus. See the nearest point from the sun. This is a P. Here on the axis is called perihelion. This is the nearest point from the sun, and the first point is, that is A. This point is A here, is called aphelion. So perihelion is point P here, the nearest point from the star, and the first point is A. It is called aphelion. Clear it is? Let this is position of a planet. So planet revolve around the sun here in elliptical orbit. Now we are going to see Kepler's second law of planetary motion. Kepler's second law of planetary motion is called law of areas. To understand the law of area, see, let this is a position of a sun, lies at one of the focus, right? And planet, let us revolve around the sun here in elliptical path. Kepler's second law of planetary motion, that is law of area, gives planet sweep out equal area in equal time. See the mean of this. Planets sweep out equal area in equal time. To understand this, let a planet moves from P1 to P2 in time t. P1 to P2 in time t. In same time, another planet moves from P3 to P4 here in the same time. The conclusion of the Kepler is this. See the area. To move a planet from P1 to P2 in time t is and here from P3 to P4, let's sweep out area by the planet. So both area is equal. Planet sweep out equal area. It means area as P1 P2 is equal to area as P3 P4. See carefully. Planets sweep out equal area in equal time. Now see one of the important conclusion here in this case. What is the important conclusion? SP1, see this distance, is greater than SP3. SP1 is greater, but see the distance P1, P2. This distance is less than distance P3, P4. So to understand this very carefully, see, we'll talk about the linear velocity of a planet. Linear velocity of a planet. First, at point P1. See what is a linear velocity at point P1? When we are going to calculate, see the linear distance travel P1 P2 in time t, and linear velocity of a planet at point P3c. If you want to calculate the planet moves from P3 to P4 is P3 P4 by t. See, time is the same, equal time. When we compare this both, let here this velocity is v1 and here is velocity we are calculating at by point v2. This implies that here in this case, since P1, P2 is less than P3 by P4, this implies that, so denominator is same, this implies that V1 is less than V2. See very carefully. The velocity, linear velocity of a planet at point P2 is represented by V2 and here at point V1. So see, when planet is away from the sun, moves slower than when it's near to the planet. Slower. So where is the maximum speed of a planet, linear velocity? When it is near to the planet. So planet moves away from sun having a smaller velocity. Aerial velocity is same, but if it is near to its revolve faster than if the planet lies away from it, right? But one thing is very important here in it. In Kepler's second law of planetary motion, that is the law of inertia, This law is based on law of conservation of angular momentum. So 3 point is very important here. Planets sweep out equal area and equal time. So here in this case, the traveled area, swept area, in both cases same if both has a same time. So aerial velocity is the same. That is called, what does it means indicate? Aerial velocity is constant, right? And this is concept is on the basis of law of conservation of angular momentum. But planet away from the sun moves slower than if planets lies near to the sun. Now we are going to see the third law. This third law is also known as law of period. What is the law of periods in Kepler's law of planetary motion? See, since planets revolve in elliptical path around the sun, right? We have taken semi-major axis and minor axis, right? Planet revolve around the sun in this path. This is the position of planet and it is position of sun here. So when it's revolve here in this, square of time period of planet is directly proportional to cube of semi-major axis, right? Since semi-major axis is represented by R here in this case, we are going to represent it by capital R. So according to the third law period, time taken to revolve, time period is time taken to revolve the one revolution of the planet. Let it is represented by T. So T square is directly proportional to cube of semi-major axis, and mathematically we may write this is T square is equal to K R cube, where K is equal to constant. Third law indicates that the time period is dependent on R. If R is more, planets take longer time to complete the path. So this conclusion is, if R is larger, this distance is, so larger distance takes longer time to complete the path. So this is about Kepler's all three laws of planetary motion. Thank you.